Thank you for watching. My name is Momokan from Japan. Today, I'll be giving you a full breakdown of Ciaccona's visual design. We'll be covering everything from bust size to thigh thickness, outfit exposure, and even height. So please stay tuned until the end if you'd like a complete overview. I'll also keep making videos that help you clearly understand the appeal of your favorite characters, so don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Here are a few notes for this video. Please pause if you'd like to read them carefully. Here's the flow for today's breakdown. First, let's talk about Ciaccona's body proportions and figure. I measured the bust, waist, and hip from in-game screenshots, approximating them with ellipses. Ciaccona's bust measures 100.1 centimeters at the fullest point and 81.9 centimeters under bust, which places her around a G-cup size. This is similar to Rover and a little larger than Sanhua or Jianshin. If we focus only on the top bust, the part closer to actual breast volume, she's about the same level as Baiji or Taoki, definitely among the larger characters. Now let's look at bust shape from the front and side. Front shapes are generally classified into 9 types. Ciaccona most closely fits the round type, with an overall circular appearance. Compared to another round type like Yinlin, Ciaccona's is drawn as a much larger, fuller circle. From the side, there are 6 main types. Ciaccona aligns with the bowl shape with smooth, gentle curves. Others in this category include Shorekeeper and Sanhua. However, among round bowl types, very few characters reach Ciaccona's G-cup scale. Proportions of the bust above and below the nipple usually follow the golden ratio of 45-55. Ciaccona's is about 45-52, slightly fuller above than the ideal golden ratio. Next, the waist and hips. Her waist measures 74.7 centimeters and her hips 93.8 centimeters. For reference, the average hip size for Japanese women is about 90 centimeters, so her hips are a bit larger. Her waist to hip ratio is 0.8, meaning the two measurements are relatively close. This puts her in line with characters like Jinsi or Jeishi. In general, a ratio of 0.7 is considered the ideal curvy balance, so Ciaccona leans more toward a slim and smart design rather than emphasizing glamour. Finally, let's classify her body type based on the 3 sizes. We use 3 categories: apple type, larger bust; hourglass type, balanced curves; and pear type, larger hips. The calculation shows that Ciaccona is an apple type, with her bust being the standout feature. Her hips are relatively modest, making the bust even more noticeable overall. Next, let's take a look at how this body shape influences the beauty of Ciaccona's walk. Her walking style tends to be a bit brisk. Perhaps this comes from the stamina she's built up while traveling as a bard. That said, when compared with the Rover, who has a similar cup size, Ciaccona's movements feel a little more reserved. Or maybe they're not that different after all. What do you think? Next, let's look at thigh thickness. I measured lengths from the front and side views and used a circular approximation to estimate the circumference. I focused on the area with the most pronounced contour and measured there. The thigh circumference came out to about 70.6 centimeters. The front thickness of the thigh is roughly 22 centimeters. For reference, a 500 milliliter plastic bottle is about 20 centimeters tall, so these are fairly solid thighs. This is about the same as Camellia and Changli, and slightly thicker than Jianshin or Jinshi. They may look thick at first glance, but within Wuthering waves, this still sits around the middle of the range. However, Ciaccona's thighs somehow look even thicker. That's likely because her waist circumference of 74.7 centimeters is quite close to her thigh circumference, which makes the thighs appear more substantial. For example, with Jianshin, the waist is clearly larger than the thigh. Ciaccona's thighs use a kind of optical effect that emphasizes fullness. Next, let's take a look at the hip line. To measure it, I captured Ciaccona gliding from below and turned the curve of her hips into a formula. Her hips show a full, rounded shape that extends outward, flowing softly toward the back with a distinct contour. When compared to a straight line between both edges, the curve is about 29.5% longer, giving her hips a clearly defined roundness. Perhaps her travels have strengthened those muscles by contributing to this shape. Now let's move to her overall outfit, exposure, and design details. The main theme of her regular costume could be described as forest and music with a touch of elegance. The mint green color scheme conveys freshness and harmony with nature, while white and black accents provide contrast. The upper body features a shoulder-bearing heart neckline in an A-line cut. The lower half combines layered ruffles with a flowing cape-like skirt, creating dynamic movement. On her head, plant-like horns add a natural and mystical element, tying into past fan surveys. For exposure calculations, I adapted a medical formula for skin surface area. Her overall exposure is about 36%, with each part showing a bit of skin. Visible areas include the collarbone, shoulders, arms, underarms, back, and thighs, suggesting a natural openness that fits her image of singing in the wild. Her resonance mark is located near the collarbone, a placement that balances femininity with symbolic meaning. Next, clothing damage. In this game, outfits tear as characters take damage. For Ciaccona, the most visible marks are scratches on her boots and dirt on her thighs. The boots in particular have many marks, more than usual for other characters. From the front, small tears also appear on the skirt and chest area, a detail that adds to her adventurous life. Next, height estimation. I used the rover's wrist to middle finger length, about 17 centimeters on average for women, as a reference. From head to ankle, Ciaccona measures about 156 centimeters. Including footwear, she stands just over 160 centimeters. That makes her comparable in height to characters like Phoebe or Gigi. With her horn tips included, she reaches around 177 centimeters. Next, estimated weight. By approximating body volume using 1 ga per centimeter density, her weight comes out to about 58 kilograms without clothing. For reference, the standard weight for a 156 centimeters woman is around 53.5 kilograms, so Ciaccona is slightly heavier. This is largely due to her larger bust and thicker thighs. Her BMI calculates to 23.9, which is still within a healthy range, especially since her weight is concentrated in specific areas. Next, let's look at the face and hair. Her expression often shows a gentle smile with slightly upturned corners of the mouth, conveying a relaxed, easygoing vibe. Her ears perk and twitch, which is a delightful touch. Her eyes are large and almond-shaped. The upper lid forms a soft, shallow curve, while the lower lid is rounder. They feature an emerald green base with a subtle inner radial gradient of pale gold. It almost gives the impression of an idol-like presence. And her hair color is a vivid rose red. Overall, it's a soft bob with outward flipped twin tails. Rather than perfect symmetry, the rear strands have a naturally irregular bounce and flow. And of course, the horns create a clear silhouette spike, making her instantly recognizable. Together, these choices harmonize her passion with a love for nature. Next, hair softness. For estimation, I modeled the hair as a damped spring and inferred effective stiffness. The longer sections behave about as soft as the bristles of a gentle makeup brush. They feel smooth and fluid, moving almost like water with little resistance. In softness, she is quite close to Yinlin, Gigi, and Cantarella. As a refined young lady, Ciaccona likely takes great care of her hair. Next, cute motions. There are charming moments during basic attacks. After the first hit, this bright smile is very cute. And after the second hit, the slight tooth-showing smile is adorable as well. Also, if you shift slightly after the final hit, a clone appears. I'm not entirely sure what's happening there. Please check performance-focused videos for the details. Next, let's look at Ciaccona's current popularity in fan creations in Japan. We'll examine the proportion of age-restricted works, R18 on Pixiv. Total works on Pixiv, 372. R18 works, 166. So the R18 ratio is 45%. This is about the same proportion as Shorekeeper. There's a noticeable spread compared to other characters, both higher and lower. The total count of 372 works is fairly moderate. Since she's not a very sexy character, it highlights how unusual Phoebe was, who had hundreds of works even before release. We can expect growth over time. Next, a fragrance impression for Ciaccona. When you approach Ciaccona, the moist air of the forest invites a deep breath, and the fresh green of budding leaves rises softly. It evokes her singing across open fields, her light steps and free spirit carried by the wind. Then, from the body of an instrument held for years, resonance stored within, a warm, woody aroma gently unfurls. It suggests melodies spun by her fingertips, and a voice that tenderly wraps itself around the listener's heart. To summarize the visuals so far, Ciaccona's charm lies in her free-spirited nature. She evokes the feel of nature through color, while confidently highlighting key features, creating a beautiful harmony. Lastly, performance. She enhances wind element attackers. Use her proactively to bring out their strength. That's the end of this breakdown. Ciaccona feels like a bright, spirited, big sister figure, a fresh presence in Wuthering waves. If you're looking for an energizing character, she's a great pick. If you have any suggestions or thoughts about this video, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll keep bringing you the latest insights on female characters you won't find elsewhere. If you don't want to miss out, please subscribe and give this video a like, and please leave a comment as well. This was Momokan. See you next time.